There's been stories that Hathenbruck hired some outlaws to help protect him while he was up in the Uintas, and these are the ones that were with him. He has pictures of them, and so we're going to go with these guys.
The information that I'd like to provide to you is that of Randy's third and fourth great-great-grandfather. His name is William Claude Hathenbruck. He was born in England at Whitechapel. His mother was Hannah Louise Hathenbruck, and she's originally from Remscheid, near the Summer Castle in Germany. I don't know if she worked there or not, but somehow Kaiser Fredrich William Nicholas Karl von Hollenzer III met her, and they had an affair. This affair produced Fredrich William Claude Hathenbruck. Now, that was a sticky situation, as Frederick III was 20 years old. He had already been promised to Queen Victoria's. She was only 14. So he had a few years to wait until she was mature enough to be able to be wed and start her family. However, they took Hannah Louise Hathenbruck to Middlesex, to a poorhouse to be watched over, that she might produce this child, in which they named Charles Hathenbruck. It declares the mother being single. This was not by accident that she was taken to Whitechapel. She could be watched over by the Queen and the elites and the people, just like they do now when they hide their families. It was very interesting. About 4 or 5 days later, Hathenbruck was born on the 30th of November, 1852. He was christened, not Charles, but Fredrich Wilhelm Hathenbruck. Claude had not been introduced to the family until a little later, which is when his parents that helped raise him, I've never found adoption records. I've never found anything stating or declaring that they actually adopted him. But he was taken out of his home at about 2¼ years old, and taken to Mainz, Germany, in which he was watched over there by the other part of the family, which we believe to be William II, Frederick III's father. The reason we state this is because he lived in Mainz, and he was placed in a military school at a very young age. He was well trained, well educated, and these people took care of him. Now, mind you, the military school is in Bad Homburg, which is probably 5 or 6 miles out of where his homestead was and where he was being raised. The other coincidental part about it is that is also the residence of where Frederick III came to his summer home. So he had a couple summer homes he enjoyed, and I do believe that he did see his son grow up. However, it's not talked about. We have original documents declare that while he was in the military school and he went through confirmation process, his name was known as Frederick William Claude. They didn't have the Hathenbruck name on it. So we're assuming this is incognito again, and yet on the back of that very document declares his mother, Louise Hathenbruck. So that is very interesting to us. That documentation, he was 14 years old, May 20th, 1866. The declaration of parenthood is Louisa Hathenbruck. Even though Franciscus, Joseph Claude, and Joanna Henrica Margaretha Garnier were the actual people that helped raise him. As I said, William Claude Hathenbruck was born Charles. This is the documents that we hold within our possessions. His baptism, being on the 20th of December 1852, declares his name as being Frederick William Hathenbruck. Interesting that his birth father is Frederick Wilhelm. I believe that the Charles is a name that the royals gave him at birth, and then when he was christened, he was given his father's name. He goes to Rhoades with his mother for approximately 2¼ years. We have transport papers and where she left Rhoades, Germany, to go to Dusseldorf to get a police record declaring that she really was the mother, that Fredrich was born Charles, then declared Fredrich William, and that he was born in Whitechapel, Middlesex, England. This is all on a documentation for transport with the supporting documents. It's a police record, and we've been very blessed to be able to have the original because I don't think they recorded that. I do have a certificate number of arrival at Dusseldorf. The day that they recorded this information gave Hannah permission to take him to Mainz, and he's received by the police in Mainz a commission. It is under contract, and that arrival date is February 27th, 1855 in Dusseldorf, and he arrives in Mainz the 2nd of March, 1855, with a certification number of 1377 ISI Roman numeral I. During Fredrich William Claude Hathenbruck's education, he received a really good education. He did surveying, he did geology, he did his maths, of course, to be able to do the other. He spoke at least 3 languages, French, German, and English, while he was there at that school. The reason he spoke German was from his mother and their family. When he was placed into the home in Mainz, the people that he was placed with were from the Netherlands. They spoke Dutch and French. During this education, he learned medical. He learned how to play music beautifully. He played a trumpet. And then he also did a lot of sciences, and he was known as a stonecutter. On his documentation when he came to America, it lists him as being his skill being a stonecutter. I'm not sure how well the tracking system is done in Germany, but everywhere Hathenbruck, he had a contract, he had an authorization number. When he left Mainz and was immigrating, he actually has contract number 248. He left the 29th of April, 1868. He's 16 years old. They list him at this time as Fredrich William Hathenbruck. He arrives in Hamburg the 6th of May, 1868. They list him as a resident and from Rhoades. That's Germany, where his mother was born. As he journeys on, he leaves Hamburg on the ship SS Bavaria, and he's heading to New York. His arrival date from New York is 18th of May, 1868.